So you were the youngest there.
Yeah.
And why did you decide to run away from the orphanage?
Well, as I got bigger, I got to be 13. I didn't want to be there. You know, evidently didn't care about the orders or whatever because we used to line up for breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
We got up, the routine was, you get up, the whistle goes, or the bell goes, and you better be out of that bed and make it and get dressed and be ready and line up.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they had monitors. If you waited, if you were late getting on the line, or she thought you were, she had a pad, and she would give you demerits. She'd mark your demerits up in the month.
Right.
They add them up, and then if you were in the 70s, forget it. You know.
So you lose some privileges.
Yeah, we lost the privileges.
But they don't cut you down on food or anything.
No, and that was pretty good. No, not on food. Whatever we had. But actually, by the time you lined up to go to lunch or breakfast, well, we'd line up to go to breakfast the same way. And they had so many lines, the windows in the kitchen, you know, and there's so many lines.
Mm-hmm.
When you got back, it took time.
Right.
To go to the line, get your lunch, you know, wait there, get your breakfast, whatever, get back to the table to eat it. Sometimes you didn't have time, so you eat as fast as you can, or try to take it with you, or sneak it out because you can't take it with you. You're not supposed to.
Are you guys waiting to be adopted or something at the orphanage?
Well, some get adopted. I guess, I don't know. I never did.
All right.
And I was never picked. I was up at the top of the honor roll for quite a while. And one day, I never had anybody come see me. My friends had people on the outside. Say, you know, they had families that cared for them. I didn't have anybody that cared about me. I was rejected since I can remember. It was pretty good until it was better than where I was, you know, a lot better.
Right.
For me anyway. And so I didn't think that wrong. I mean, I was happy there, all right, you know, because I was good. So there was one nun that I was her favorite. She used to call me her pumpkin.
Did they teach you there, like go to school and?
Well, we went to school.
All right.
At 8 o'clock to 12, you got out, had your lunch, and then back to work. I decided to write my sister a letter, and they censored our mail.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so if you said anything, the mail would go in the trash. It wouldn't be mailed.
Right.
They mailed it. You wrote it, put it in like collection box, and they go over it, they censor it.
And then they mail it.
And then if it was okay and nothing bad or negative was said about the place or whatever, they would mail it. I wrote my sister this letter. I asked her if I could have $1 for my birthday. I wrote her in January, so she had plenty of time from January to March to get me $1. And then, you know, she worked for a doctor and stuff. And I started waiting and waiting. My birthday got closer and closer. And no $1. No word, nothing, you know. I never heard from her anyway. But I was upset. I figured, well, I know they don't want me. So what? Who cares? I'm in here anyway. And I would try to do as I pleased. You know, sassing everybody back. I sassed all the monitors back, and demerits came off. I was 0 plus. I owed so many demerits for the next. They deduct those and deduct them up for the following month before I even started the month. So anyway, they couldn't understand why all of a sudden I changed like that. you know, from this kid that does everything and, you know, doesn't mind and is not just not angry or, you know, whatever, you know. And they never realized that was had happened. Even this sister that was my favorite, you know, she would talk to me and try to find out. I don't guess I ever disclosed why.
How did you get out from there?
I finally did my penance when I was 13. They tried to get me, you know, say like you're asking to be let out, you know, whoever it was, that was my uncle, you know, I don't know who it was. They wanted to get me done because they'd been told my mother was dying. She died of toxemia at childbirth at home. I remember when I was good, I was good. When I was bad, very bad, as bad as I could think I could be. And when I was good, and that was when I was sleeping. You know, that's why they wouldn't let me go. The doctor called them, my uncle called them, you know, the priest called them. I told him my mother, you know, she was dying. She requested that she'd want to see Elsie, you know. And she asked me how I was and everything, and she told me that she was going to God. She was going home. I remember that. I don't know what else she said, but and she told me that she was very, very sorry for what she'd done to me. And I didn't know her doing anything to me, you know. I didn't know she was my mother. And she wanted to apologize. That she was not my big sister. She was really my mother. And I let her scream. I told her she was crazy. It's a good thing she was dying. She's crazy. All right, Grandma was late coming, but my uncles were there, you know, and Grandma finally came in the door, and I ran to her crying and screaming right there in that one room, you know, and claiming she's not my mother, you know. When Grandma came in, that was my mother, and I just hung on to her and just buried my head in her body. I don't remember anything after that except, before she did ask me, she said, I would like want you to do something for me. And that was before she told me she was my mother, because I wouldn't have done anything for her after that. And she asked me, she told me she was going away, she's going to heaven, to please, could she please take my rosary? You know, she'd seen it, and it was the most gorgeous thing she'd ever seen. And anyway, it was to us, you know. And I told her, well, yeah, I remember saying, yeah, if you see God, tell him to bless it. Tell him. And I asked him, tell him to bless it. She used to on one smile, and then she grabbed, I remember her holding my hands, they were tight, you know, because they hurt me kind of. And I said, ouch, and she kind of let go, and she said, apologize, I want to apologize. She said, that's what she told me, that she was my mother.